choice.
I love me some Cannon.
Cannon is so rare right now in the LCK, even though it's seeing play in other regions occasionally. It's just also a niche pick outside of the LCK. It's very uncommon to see this, but when you have the Jinx and the Victor, and you have this long range that can follow it up, you feel very good about your ability to just engage, set up
as far as getting around the map and getting work done. And then in the late game, there's not a lot of extra physical damage on T1's side, and Gumayusi won't have too much armor to get through. It's just going to be a real scary time if that Jinx is unchecked.
Yeah, that's the thing. And a lot of the strengths and weaknesses of the comps, as you mentioned, is going to
game. So wait, hang on.
It appears to be a regame because there is.
This does seem to be a regame.
And Faker's not standing where he was. So it is a regame at the end.
Aha. So we did Chrono Break back, and Faker has his flash again. So those implications going to be very interesting to have a discussion about later on. However, we will move forward now, and it is definitely much more like there were no audio issues and no nothing, and we're just starting game number 2. Just like what feels like 3 days later. Thank you so much for bearing with us, by the way. I know there's so many of you that have been watching and listening to us talk about the dumbest of stuff, but there was not very much else to do while we were resolving these issues.
And it just goes to show that these types of issues in a game like League of Legends are so massive that, you know, it's going to take a debate. It will take a committee of referees to decide. In Korea, that's how we do things. It's not just a on-a-whim kind of thing. So,
and also, like, yeah,
I'm kind of proud of everybody, like, who made it through this.
Yeah, no, exactly right, exactly right. And also, like, being able, like, this decision is something that will be, you know, spoken about once again, just to see whether a decision like this will be made in the future. So, very interesting to have a discussion about it. Interested to hear your thoughts as well. Just leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Hang on a sec, Stats. I think a lot of that comes down to things that are happening elsewhere. As Gumayusi going to take a lot of damage here, bottom lane. Except a little bit too far forward and is immediately punished.
Kellen has ruled this lane. He really has. In the first game, I know it was a million years ago now, he played so well on the Leona, punished Keria several times. This time, obviously, it's a really bad lane to an already half-health Showmaker who decided not to back. So just trying to make his choice to teleport home by that first item. And
ooh, that's the Abyssal Dive to come on through as Canyon's taking a lot of damage. He's going to flash out, but Keria still wants more. The Ignite goes down. That's going to tick for first blood. And the Tahm Kench picks it up.
It's the roaming Tahm Kench. You know, you just never see it coming. And they're holding Showmaker
here.
They're
just going to look for another one. Okay, Keria still going to dive on forward as into the Shroud goes Showmaker. But Chaos Storm partying underneath this turret right now.
They're going to get played.
Yeah, might just go down. And yeah, Faker collects that money.
And they're denying a little bit of CS as well, pulling him out of experience. Like, this is such a great play. Even if you don't get the second kill here, you just stay, and it forces Kellen to rotate up, but he's not having much luck there, and Gumayusi is free farming in a lane that you normally are losing. You're normally under turret against the Karma Ezreal, and he's just sitting here free farming.
Look at this guy. This portly catfish just wanders past. And yeah, Keria not going to be, sorry, Kellen not going to be
going on. But they are able to force an Akali who's already struggling out of lane. Now we're looking for the Canyon rotation.
Yeah, that's a flash Abyssal Dive to try and get him out, but he's on the leash. Does have the Grey Health, is going to use it as Canyon looking to try and finish that one off, and he does so. They managed to pick up Keria as DAMWON Kia make it out.
So punished finally here for the aggression that we saw, and how if Gwen tries to trade with you, you set up a stun, so it's very difficult for her to actually heal through and actually win those trades. It's basically impossible in the early game, so that's part of why this is picked.
Yeah,
meanwhile,
should still have like side lane advantage, as was illustrated by the Carpet Space, thankfully.
Yeah, and we talked about it a lot here on our casting desk a million years ago, but T1 have the ability to take this Rift Trail, but the amount of resources committed to here means I think they're going to need to get more than that. Otherwise, this is not a trade up because Ezreal is getting free plates, and they are going to try to force this dive onto Birdall, and they can turn this into a whole turret if they can actually make this work. And regardless of Birdall, whether he dies or not, like, you're losing CS, and you're going to lose a turret here if no one else comes up. And unfortunately for DAMWON Kia, the response is a little bit late.
Showmaker looking for the solo kill. There's the perfect execution. Faker flashes, throws down the Chaos Storm, and just says goodbye. But that's definitely a great trade for Showmaker. Does keep his flash and is now able to exert the dominance. I believe he's got out of the difficult early game.
Yeah.
Here's Keria. Yeah, Keria's just going to voyage his way forward. And Showmaker thought there was a gentleman's agreement. There absolutely is not. This is a team game, sir.
Look at the wards, all to the left of the Rift Herald pit. They have, with that dive top side, which was canceled, of course, by Birdall backing away, they have several wards there, so this rotation over from Keria and is super easy to make. You know that you can threaten Showmaker. Showmaker has no vision whatsoever. There's control wards there, so T1 know this, and Showmaker just pushing the issue a little bit too far, and he's feeling frustrated, he's feeling the pressure, he's down 15 CS, got Faker's flash, wants to prove further that he can actually get back into more of an even territory in this lane, try to grab a plate, but is promptly punished. So it's not like he can abuse the fact that Zeus just ulted, right? He's just now got it back and is close to getting his teleport. There was a marauding potential duo there it is, shown just briefly.
Yeah, and Faker's going to look for it. There's the kick flash, and Faker felt like he was in relatively safe distance, and I did too, but it's not. Showmaker's going to finish that off with the perfect execution. This time it's going to work out, and bring your friend.
Flash ult, so I think you really have to respect this as DAMWON Kia.
Well, Carrier dashing on forward, not exactly what he wants to do, as he does have some gray health to go through. True Shot Barrage does push the Tahm Kench out of this fight almost completely though, as Shirley is going to back towards that pit. Showmaker able to start things off again, as you can see DAMWON Kia dealing with this mid lane minion wave.
DAMWON Kia in now with that chunk of damage on Ikaria in position to actually look to start this one.
I think Drake is more important.
Yeah, Drake is more important, but I think it's DAMWON Kia. You have to start this one ASAP and at least get something out of this and try to turn this into a topside play onto the Victor, who's not going to be able to hold this one down forever. The time is of the essence. Like, the slower you do this as DAMWON Kia, the less valuable and the smaller the window of time to actually get value out of the second Herald actually will be. So,
oh, here we go.
Oh, there's your Cloud Soul.
Finally, we get a relevant soul, everyone. Very happy about that.
Because Atlas, you mentioned the Drake being more important. Yeah, they get the Drake. Now they're going to get this turret here. And on the other side of the map, like, they just backed with the eye. They use the eye for the empower back, but they don't actually make a topside play. It's just been so infallible, it feels like, as of late. Even at the beginning of the season, but in their last few series, it's really a standout.
Yeah, their decision-making has just been better. Right now, that has equated to just under a 2,000 gold lead, but let's see whether this can be the changes. That knock-up was amazing! Canyon's going to have to get out of there. Shirley does do some work. The flash has to be invested. Gets Canyon out of the way of the Super Mega Death Rocket, which looked to me like it was about to kill him. So that is Canyon denied. It's not often that you get to deny him, and his flash is so valuable.
I mean,
Drop Barrage, double value like that.
It's like a Lee Sin without flash is like a wizard without a wand. I mean, it's your primary tool,
you're just
right?
a human.
Yeah. Like, you've lost your primary tool now, and the really aggressive engage wasn't followed up on. And so you flash now, trying to escape as Owner handles it well, doesn't use flash, and now your Rift Herald didn't get you a turret, and you're stuck here. As DAMWON Kia just desperately trying to get prio, and you've got good wave.
There, right? It's a Karma. Yes, you can run fast at them, but it has to be a flank, you have to get that vision denial and make stuff happen. Right now, I mean, even the Rift Scuttle vision is available for T1, so that's set up for guaranteed vision, and blindness for T1 is just not really there.
If they could force Zeus to, over here on the flank, ult, for example, if Showmaker could make that happen, it would be fantastic, but he's just not there yet, right? He doesn't have a Shadow Flame online. If he did, maybe he could actually force that to happen, and they could look to win a fight without that ultimate. But Zeus is holding his ground.
Yeah, Gumushi in a little bit of trouble, taking a bit of damage there from Doctan, whose poke is relevant as he starts this one up. Not a lot of lifesteal completed here for Gumushi, theoretically, as Showmaker standing on a control ward. Zeus checking the flanks nicely. You saw he actually popped the blast cone early, understood that flanks are a huge deal, as now Gumushi actually going to bait them in. Bertle, unfortunately, doesn't have Mist available. He will manage to stay alive for the moment, but manages to wait for that cooldown as well, as T1 are just going to chase DAMWON Kia out of that river. It looks like the cloud is going to belong to T1 this time. Yeah,
and unfortunately for Showmaker, he wasn't able to do anything to Zeus, and the fight happened without Zeus. Like, he didn't ult, he didn't flash, he didn't rocket belt. He was like, oh, cool, thanks for the engage,
There was a ninja battle happening off to the side. Yeah, that True Shot Barrage might actually be relevant here. As T1 are going to try and burst down this Cloud Drake. They have a lot of damage available. Kick is up for Canyon, but he only has the safeguard to get himself around. Q connects. The area is not his target.
The power of Cannon existing here means it's so difficult for DAMWON to actually fight and engage because they have to be wary of his angle. And here he is!
Yeah, here he goes! Zeus is going to lock down the squishy Karma, and DAMWON Kia could do nothing about it. He throws down an Ignite, but that is all he really gets to do. Is okay, some snips coming down as well, as Canyon immediately is going to get ignited. The zap comes through, finishes off the kill. Gumushi gets excited, and now Carrier is trying to run this one down as well. Bertle going down extraordinarily low, and he will be taken out. It's Owner that collects that kill, and DAMWON Kia just not looking like the same team that we saw earlier on in the year. It's not looking like a 3-gamer right now as this mid-outer turret's going to fall down.
Zeus' positioning was so perfect around every part of that. As DAMWON Kia went past the mid-turret into red side jungle to try to find a force engage. This could be big.
Strong. Well, that's a lot of damage.
She like doesn't yield afterwards.
Okay, is this time for Showmaker the hero? Well, he's going to look for it, but it's going to be the turret, the Baron going down. Dam wanting to find that flank as in goes Showmaker, immediately does.
This happens so much with these engages into the Xin Zhao. He's so valuable as Crescent Guard just sends
Dam's turn. Let's just take it in turns.
Showmaker's like, I'm going in because he has the opportunity to deliver that champion to your team.
Yeah.
Shut down the mobility, use it against your opponent. Oh, this is just a masterclass from T1 and DAMWON Kia running out of options.
Yeah, this is DAMWON Kia definitely not looking like their old selves. So we have this minion wave being ushered towards the inner turret on the bottom side of the map. Meanwhile, Bertel able to deal with the mid lane turret, but I think this one's definitely dead. I don't think DAMWON Kia in the 4 are going to be able to do anything, especially with Owner waiting off to the side. Bertel.
He's feeling the burden.
I was trying to find a way to like not make that sound like a Freudian slip, but there was just no way making out of it, as it's not been on him, to be perfectly honest. It's been a group effort this time around. T1 just looking better in every single position.
The cannon pick was really just the like dark tech. It was the black magic. It was what they needed. Like
as Kellen takes so much zap damage, this 3-item Jinx is really scary. True Shot Barrages are landing. More Malmortius done for Dam in the Mythicless build that he has decided to go with. As T1 still here setting up for the Drake, still feeling strong enough, and can't really blame him. 7,000 gold is their lead. They can smack him with their wallets. That's going to be the steal from Canyon, though. Gets the kickback onto Owner as well, and they just want to get out. Carrier is going to fall. Has he kept them in position for long enough is the question. The answer is T1 don't care. They're just getting out. As Showmaker, can he find the flank? There's the 5-point strike. He backflips through. Gets into the Shroud as well and manages to eliminate Gumayusi before he dies.
So we're going to be a lot of gold going over to the Akali, and they do secure this Drake. So tying it up 2-2, which is really important because their side laning is better. They have the Akali that could side lane very well. They have the Gwen that could side lane, so they can 1-3-1 this, use the Ezreal to push lanes. They're going to grab a little bit more objective bounty here with this turret, too, if they can actually secure it. Canyon's waiting for the opportunity. Too much respect here, though, from T1, and they will get the bounty. But this was a great win for DAMWON Kia, and finally I feel like we have something we can pretty hard criticize T1 for. The way that they grouped up for that Drake fight becomes more lethal.
Well, Canyon could be in trouble. There's the dash cannon. Q going to connect there onto Owner as Showmaker. Let's see whether he can get himself out of this scenario. Does have the Twilight Shroud as now Owner decides he doesn't want to fight this one. Not enough members of T1 in the area. Gumayusi is going to turn up as the Flame Jumpers go down. Showmaker immediately goes gold. Gumayusi is still free hitting. Dam taking so much, but does manage to get rid of the Jinx. And now Owner pops his stopwatch as well. As Bertel's chasing after him. He's going to snip through the Xin Zhao. Faker has to flash, but Bertel does manage to get over that wall as well. Zeus, can you get the stuns down? Bertel, can you kill Faker? And the answer is yes in the end.
And this should be a Baron. DAMWON Kia have completely turned this game around now. It took one false move from T1, taking that Drake fight without their ultimates, then pushing together and overextending on the top side of the map, and suddenly all of that lead that T1 had, all the tempo, all the map control can be wiped off. It's a clean slate here on the Rift. DAMWON Kia 100% back in this. Now the side laning becoming a real pressure that they have to deal with. Zeus' ult timing there, not great, not really going to get a ton of value. Also now flashless, also now ultless. There's no way that T1 could try to come across the map.
Super Mega Death Rocket? Never. Still going to throw it, but the Baron is going to get taken on the way. So Jonas Strong doesn't even get to have a good time.
So DAMWON Kia...
that was required, right? This is an AoE composition that does do a whole lot of work when you coordinate together, when you get the Chaos Storm on top of the Slicing Maelstrom, you know, like these sorts of things work well together. Match your circles, things like that. That was them playing DAMWON Kia's composition's ideal style, which is absolute insanity skill check all the time.
Yes, and also punishing all the time. Also looking for any way to trap T1 because their composition is so good at it. And now with a Baron buff and the composition they have...
Definitely not having a good time because after that, I mean, Zeus is not going to be able to side lane against anyone. I think that Bertel and Showmaker should theoretically be able to take him on now, even if he is 2-0-3. And T1 just going to be tidying up the mess that is now being provided by DAMWON here. They take the Drake for free as well.
Yeah.
And T1, I think it's now about getting
to get a lot of damage done if you can hit multiple targets. So rather than survivability, they just want him to build damage. Don't know if I fully agree with the choice, but that's the clear picture of what he wants.
It's like a chipmunk-shaped nuclear bomb. Like, that's the plan.
Okay, this is tricky.
Okay, T1.
DAMWON have no idea.
This is very sneaky. Gumayusi over the wall with the rockets, and Oner is able to tank this one up. Zeus on a flank of Nuff. He's trying to act as best as possible.
Such a good sell from Zeus.
Oh,
They're just not going to know.
This. The Baron just goes down, and T1 going to take it right from under the noses of DAMWON here. The Dragon hadn't even spawned yet. Bertle is in that pit, and Showmaker is going to be there as well. But T1, they have no interest. They have no interest in that whatsoever, because now they get to siege, something that their composition really loves doing.
Exactly. That's going to be what's going to give you control. This Ezreal is starting to be a real big threat. But that's what's going to give you control here as T1 is the ability to push waves with Baron buff. That's going to give you the vision back more than winning a fight. Movement speed that Faker's going to get from Lichbane here too in this game is why he chose that item, even though it's not great into the composition. It's just going to be a little bit extra damage, a little bit extra movement speed, which is very critical.
Yeah. Well, Bertle moving up, does have his mist available to try and kill these siege minions, but Faker, he's the one on the split, trying to make sure that he splits DAMWON Kia apart. T1 with the inside tracky. We've seen them make this play so many times. Gumayusi grabs a red buff. Canyon, control vision just outside their base. Is working out. True Shot Barrage does not connect onto either Oner or Zeus.
T1 are just hoping that DAMWON Kia try to turn, try to look for this fight. Showmaker on the angle here.
Yeah, dangerous for Faker here, because of course Showmaker we've seen can be deadly if he manages to catch you unawares.
Zeus is just hoping that they commit in so he can get a defensive. Oh, here we go.
He's found him. There's the stopwatch broken immediately by Faker. He does have Chaos Storm down, Super Mega Death Rocket just to make sure. Showmaker had already backed away. So, Flash retained for Faker, but stopwatch, a huge cooldown for Showmaker to collect.
Showmaker also lost his flank,
and immediately he gets the heck out of there. That's going to be the kickback, and there are multiple flashes all over, but Canyons is used defensively. That is absolutely huge for T1.
They should be able to just rush over here. If DAMWON can actually get onto this Elder first, they had so much power, but they're not able to do so. They didn't know where Zeus was, which is the scariest thing, right? Okay, we were able to see T1 push for the Canyon pick, but not able to do it.
Really doing some big damage right now with that death cap now completed. He is very scary. You saw Bertle there towards the south of your screen. He's taken a lot, but now this is looking like it's going to be a flip. Let's see whether Zeus can actually get that flash in there as Showmaker comes down. It is going to be the Elder taken by Canyon. His smite hand so strong as in towards this backline they go. Gumayusi starting to pop off, and it doesn't matter whether you've got an Elder, if you've got the rocket launcher that this Jinx has. Bertle is going to go into his stasis, but he's still going to die. And DAMWON Kia, they get the Elder Drake, but they lose out on the fight.
And DAMWON Kia will have, you know, a little bit of time here and some breathing room. And T1 should not be able to end because it's not a decisive team fight win here.
They can break the base, they can possibly get to the Baron as well, though.
Yeah, they should be able to break this inhibitor, and they want to get the inhibitor on the opposite side of where the Baron is, so it can pull DAMWON Kia away from that Baron take. But with the respawns coming through here, I don't know if they'll be able to get more than that, but Gumayusi is certainly looking for it.
Yeah, True Shot Barrage not going to find Carrier, and it looks like T1 are done with this game. Maybe they just want to try and end. They have so much turret damage with Faker and Gumayusi here, especially with this Lichbane build as Faker. Oh my god, so incredibly close.
Got to be so careful here as T1 pushing the issue here. You have opposite side to Baron inhibitor down, so just back off.
To potentially come on through. Trading Baron for Nexus. It's a mistake some teams have made in the past.
You're willing to make this risk, or take this risk as T1 because you're up 1-0 in this series too.
They're thinking of going for a flip for it as now Bertle will try and get out, and the fact that he does escape successfully is huge. But now Oner trying to stop these backs. The Baron has been stopped. Oner's trying to get over there. Doctom immediately kills him as now Bertle, can he actually stop this? Nexus turret number 1 goes down. Showmaker loses his entire health bar before he manages to go into his Zhonya's, and then is going to be taken down. Now the Nexus is bare. Gumayusi flashes, gets himself out of the way, and T1 secure the 2-0. Oh man, they made us sweat for it.
Oh, T1 steal the game away. They lost control after a few poor team fights, and Zeus never really able to get value out of that ultimate in a straight up 5v5 team fight. But T1